afternoon, everybody, and welcome to this Friday afternoon safari. I am Gareth, if you don't know me, which I'm sure most of you do, if not all of you. Behind the camera I have James, and we have a very special guest on drive this afternoon. Who can guess who's sitting next to James? Dun, da, da, dun, da. Maybe we'll have a surprise showing of our guest a little later on, but only if you get it right. Our afternoon plans, because we have a short drive, flies in my face. There's a lot of flies all over the place at the moment. With summer, they're all out and about. My house is absolutely full of them. And they seem to have followed me here. Our plan is to try and show you the elephants. Earlier on, they were around Seskankrip. So we are going to head up to Seskankrip and see if we can find the elephants. The drive that we had on Sunday was very productive for rhinos and the lions. And the lions weren't found this morning, so we're not going to try and find them within an hour. We're going to try and capitalize on the fact that the elephants are central. And maybe we'll have a good old showing of those two new little babies to cap off our year of painted dog live safaris. It'll be a very cute way to end off 2025. I'm also going to announce those of you that have placed your bids for the photographs that we presented. But I am going to say that we are opening for one last chance the auction photographs at $100 each. So even if the photo has already been snapped up by somebody, you still can get your hands on one of those photographs for $100. But the raffled photos are no longer open because we can't draw your name out of the hat. But let me quickly say hello to everybody that is online from our pack. Hello to Bob, Mary, Jennifer, Connie, Brian. Haven't seen you in a while. Nice to have you with us. That's everybody. So yeah, who is our mystery guest, Mary? I'll tell you, it's not Mama Lucy, although I think that would be quite fun. And then I'm just going to quickly announce everybody, well, the few. So, Mary, you will be receiving photos 13 and 7. Michael Fleetwood, photo 4, and then Carol 5, 8, and 10. Well done. And then Jennifer, Victoria's elephant bull is all yours. Thank you for participating. And if you forgot to place your bids for the auction photographs, you can do before the end of this drive. What is on the road there? You see that, James? On the right-hand side, wheel right before the fallen over marula. No, on the road, there looks like there's something there. Is it just a piece of wood? I can't see. Sorry? Piece of wood. When I first saw it, I thought it was a guinea fowl dust bathing. But this is a clear sign that the elephants are in the area. It is just a piece of wood. Sorry everybody, I got way too excited for a piece of wood on the road. So the elephant bull by Victoria is not available because Jennifer bid for it. But the others are. So if you missed the opportunity in the week, you have an hour left. And we would greatly appreciate your support from the Conservation Coalition. Oh, there's this dung. There are dung beetles rolling down the road a lot. James, if you can just turn up the audio maybe from VM. VM is FC this afternoon. Hello everybody. There's some impalas crossing the road in front of us. There's also some giraffe tracks walking towards the crypt. So maybe we'll get lucky with some giraffe. It's so pretty, the light is coming through. The last few days have been a little bit overcast. The mountains are beautiful, the elephant tracks go down this road. Let's see how good I am. Oh, I put myself under pressure now. I'm trying to find the elephants this afternoon. So I am going to get up there. They were northwest of Seskant Krip. So they could be making their way down towards the deep slurt, which wouldn't be that great for us. But we'll go and see if we can find them. Also, Seskant, as you all are well aware of by now, is a great place for us to try and find the rhinos of the Rietspruit. They do love this area. Little blue wax balls flew up there. Half past 5 on a Friday means most of South Africa is closed. For the festive season, it's a long one. We've held James back. Although James is like, I'll just come and work anywhere during the holidays.
Yeah, I'm getting that. Well, where is that place? Where will find that third place?
It's a pleasant afternoon to be out on a game drive.
Come in with that place. Come back north. I can hear you eat where you are. Come back straight north. You take that second, come back north.
I want to just check some of these wallows to see if there's any rhinos having a nice afternoon swim. You can see the elephants have been here. Have a look at this. So, listen to what this. Okay. So elephants were here spraying themselves with the mud, and you can see how it's been sprayed all over here. And I don't know if you can see where the track was, where the mud hasn't been on the ground there. This is not very fresh. You can see how all of this mud is peeled up like this. So this has had a lot of time to dry, so this isn't very fresh, but clear signs that the Ellies are enjoying the mud wallows. I thought maybe it was a little bit more fresh when I was driving past, but definitely not.
Stations, Matt Noble on Ledwood, any updates?
Good afternoon, Matt. There are 5 Ledwood stations on Blowbank. The herd of elephants was northwest of Seskant Krip earlier. And then there are some white rhinos somewhere around Lemondering Krip. I think there's a station there and one responding. And there was an Ingwe sighting somewhere on Kaya earlier this afternoon.
Around control.
There's another mud wallow coming up somewhere here that I just want to check and see if the rhinos that were in this area earlier this afternoon are still around. There's the other wallow, but there's no rhinos there. Looks like the elephants were there as well. Okay, let's go north and see if we can get any sign of these elephants. Which station had the elephants northwest of Seskant Krip this afternoon? That's nice. We have found one of the rhinos. Oh, territorial spraying here. How awesome is that? Having a little walk by from one of our resident rhino
Stations
bulls.
are done on submission with that last update. Can I get number of stations on Blowbank, please?
It's beautiful with the mountains and him walking down the road.
As far as I know, they're fine.
I'm going to go and pop his nose in the crib. Let's see.
Copy.
Jennifer, it's about 30 degrees Celsius right now. Quite a really is a pleasant afternoon. I'm going to go around and we can get him drinking. And the temperature's dropping off really quickly, which is quite nice for us. That's what makes afternoon game drive so nice, is the temperatures drop off in summer. Stations, there's a white rhino bull drinking from Seskant Krip. Carol, I didn't see that Kudu Crip was drinking from our camp cam last night, so thanks for that update. It's good to know. A couple of days ago, there was a male leopard sitting on this concrete block by Seskan Crip at 4:30 in the afternoon, which is quite incredible. I'm a timber male. So this rhino bull has had his drink and he's going to continue on his evening scent mark. Look at him scratching. He's dragging his back feet, opening up the top surface of the soil there and then spraying. Breaking open the crust of the soil is important, that the scent can penetrate the soil a little bit better rather than just being on top. And he'll wander through his territory the rest of the evening, scent marking as he goes. The light is absolutely beautiful. It's just, the sun is just dropping below a little bit of cloud above the mountain there. We'll see if this rhino walks down this road. We'll zoom out and have a rhino in the foreground and the mountains in the background. Should be very picturesque. Which way is he going to go? Let's go in here. He's going to come this way. Probably walk down the road. The animals always like walking down the roads. It's very easy for them. Walk around trees and over stumps and things. But let's see, he might also go to that wallow that's ahead of us. It looks like he's angling himself there. So I'm going to just shoot around there and see if he comes there. It'll be quite nice if he does have a dip. And the rest of this open area around Seskan Crip is actually very nice for a rhino walking through it. Here's a midden that a female's visited recently. So I wonder if he's going to pop in there. So there's our wallow that we had the signs of the elephants previously using. And I wonder if he's going to visit it now. It's still got a decent amount of water. I have shot quite far ahead of him. So he's probably going to do the exact opposite to what I want him to do. But he should come through these bushes here in this open, more open section of the reserve. And if he stays on the road, then we'll see him going down there. But it looked like he was angling more towards this wallow, so it'll be quite interesting if he comes here. Just going to try and get an update as to where the elephants were last seen. Can any station go with a good last on the herd of elephants? Now that we're sitting waiting for the rhino.
Gareth, I heard them further northwest towards the deep slot when the rhino bull was there.
Copy, thanks, Sana. Now that we're sitting waiting for him here, he's not going to do what we want. He's going to graze and enjoy all the nice short grass. Copy, make your way as a second. He's mobile south. There he comes. He's going to come straight here, hopefully. We are very well positioned for the wallow. Right now, he's not walking in exactly the best spot for our camera, but I think if he comes into the wallow, we're in the best possible position, so it would be really silly to move right now.
Allow us to detect where you left lions in the morning. Negative. Okay, copy. I'm making my way there. You said, east of Snelling, near the drainage. Yeah, east of Snelling.
He's replaced his horn with some mud. Well, that was a very short-lived wallow, an entertaining couple of seconds though, as he just stuck his head in there. He's just realized that we're here. Look at all that mud stuck on his face. These animals are creatures of habit. They'll always love visiting their middens and the wallows that they enjoy, even if it was short-lived like that. Now he's having a hard time getting the mud off of his horn. He's just on a mission. He's going to come around the bushes here, James. Is he? It looked like he was angling. Okay. It's nothing like a live safari without me stalling the jackal. No, he's just gone straight through there. The station responding to the White Rhino Sescont Crip area. It was the station responding to the White Rhino around Sescont Crip. The stations I'm leaving this White Rhino bull to himself. He's continuing south from the seasonal pan that is southwest of Sescont Crip. He should reappear on Sescont Tot State. He's continuing south. Looking to follow up on the herd of elephants. All right, great way to start the drive. On Sunday we had Ringo, and I'm not too sure, who that was. Maybe it is Ringo. I don't know if anybody got a good look at his notches. Oh, it's all happening.
Following up on that herd of elephants coming from Matt.
Go for Gareth, Matt. There's some more rhinos.
Okay, can you just confirm with that northwest of the crop? I'm coming from Buffalo Dam side. I'll join you in the area.
Affirmative. Hano had audio of them around the deep slit from Sescont Crip. stations. There's a white rhino cow and calf mobile south towards Seskankrip. It's a great time of day to be around a water source for white rhinos. We talk about it so often on these live drives because rhinos are so habitual where they will always go and seek water around sunset. So I feel like a stuck record saying it's a good time of day to find rhinos at water, and while it sort of pays off because they are pretty predictable. Hello, Michael. Welcome. No, Mary, I don't think there will be any influence of humans marking their territory in the bush having any impact on these wild animals. Completely different scent profiles. It has nothing to do with their lives. Just going to give the crip a bit of space. I'm actually going to go to where we had that bull because this female is a little bit hesitant to come and approach the crip with us parked there. So I'm just going to give the crip a bit of space and she should continue coming down. And then we're going to sit here nice and quietly, maybe just out of eyesight for her. And earshot, and then she might feel comfortable in coming to have a drink from the crip here. And then we'll definitely shoot off and try and find the Ellies. It's amazing that at the beginning of the year, we had 3 little baby rhinos born within 4 months of each other, and how big they are already. Look at this little one. He's a big boy already. Some red-billed oxpeckers joining these 2 rhinos. You can see on the baby's head there. Oxbeck has taken the opportunity to drop down into the crypt as well to have a drink. Satisfied that its thirst is no longer. Back to trying to find some of the parasites that call rhino's ears home. Having a much longer drink than the bull had just now. The baby's going to have to really try hard to get to the water level there. We spoke about it the other day. There's not much water in the crypt. But it's a good thing that all the seasonal pans are full of water and the dams are full of water. These rhinos really won't have any issue with finding water to drink at the moment. There's a little woodpecker tapping away on a tree somewhere here. I can just hear it tapping. When they do that, they're inspecting the tree, trying to find a little hollow spot. And where there's a little hollow spot in the wood, it means that there's probably a grub in there that they would fancy as a meal. I think I found the elephant. At least one elephant. I just heard a tree crack as it pushes it over or something. Mom's had her fill, and now it's baby's turn for a drink. Oh, he's getting a bit big. He has to lie down to suckle now. Yo, our guest is not going to have to be put on camera this afternoon because nobody's guessing who it is. Or maybe you can tell by the voice.
Adult rhinos drink around 72 to 80 liters of water daily, about 19 to 21 gallons.
Yeah, normally to stimulate the flow of milk, the babies have to really use their heads, and like Michael's pointing out here, they kind of look like they're headbutting mom, and the same with impalas. That process just helps the stimulation of milk. Oh, he's also had his fill now. And now it's time for a kip. Looks like he's passed out. That was tough work. They quite often sit around these water points like this after having a drink, just resting. But mom's lets the little boy have a drink now. So she might let him rest a little bit and then they'll carry on walking for the evening. Mary says that voice sounds familiar, but can't find it. Carol, I think you are dead right with that. If it was Brent, you would have heard him a long time ago. He wouldn't be sitting quietly. Could be Maddie. Maybe. All right. I think we've had a really good time with these rhinos. They're about to move off here. So let us continue and see if we can find who was breaking the trees. Looks like she's going to have another drink. It's like one rock that I drove into. Half a tree. James corrects me. Mom's having another drink and then they'll probably leave the crib. Oh. Why is this thing shouting at me? Matt, what's going on here? All the 4x4 lights are flashing. But I didn't click any buttons. Okay, so the break-in branches were somewhere here. Is nice fresh elephant dung. So it might be a bull that is following the herd. It's just hanging back a little bit. If the rest of them have moved through to the other side of the road, heading towards the deep slope. You got him. Our guest has got good eyes. That's a clue. Oh, there he is. He's hiding behind a bush as I drove past. This is why if you ever go on safari, you should always be on the lookout because your guide won't see everything. But it's the big boy. Because of this little bush in front of us, I don't think we're going to get the best view of him. Because if I squeeze through these little trees to get this little bush that's in shot, I might end up getting a bit too close to him with nowhere to go. Carol's saying, oh, what's it, a female's voice? I thought it was funny to read that aloud so that our guest could hear that, Carol, but no, it's not. It's definitely not Victoria. I think she's... Oh, let's just watch him break this tree. It's always interesting watching elephants as they go about breaking trees, the different techniques that they use. There he initially just bent it a little bit before he could put his tusk on the other side and use the weight of his head to break it. It also amazes me that he had to do that because he already broke one of the taller branches of this tree down and hasn't finished eating it. And now he's going to eat maybe 5% of everything available to him and move on. And in the process has broken 2 stems from this tree.
We located male lions here on Southern Trade Line. The training close to Rietspruit Dam. It's coming in the next 5 minutes, just on the eastern side of Mele. Make your way. Almost Sam just confirmed the lost space. They are in between Nyala Junction with the fence, southern fence, and the drainage approach to Rietspruit Dam. Copy that.
When we leave the elephant, we'll reveal who our guest is. Go, Matt. Affirmative. I've just located a elephant bull east of the Seskant, just south of Rietspruit, and he's trailing the herd.
Okay, copied. I'm on Rietspruit there. I'll come back towards Rietspruit and join you there.
Copy. Interesting to see how much of this tree he actually eats. There's a lot of guesses of who's on the vehicle now. VM's an FC, so it's not VM. Brian's not a bad guess. I'll narrow it down. He has worked for Painted Dog TV in the past. Lots of swishing of his tail. All those flies that I spoke about earlier might be giving him a hard time. He's just feeding here, so I think let's go and see if we can find the herd. It might be a lot harder because it gets quite thick along the deep slit. But if Hanu could hear branches breaking earlier, it means that they're not too far from here. And there's very fresh dung with hardly any.
Someone's dropped the radio and
Yeah, so there's hardly any dung beetles on the dung that I saw earlier, which means it's really fresh. But let's see if we can just find the herd while we've got a bit of time. So just going to drop a branch here for anybody that wants to see this bull. An old trick of the bush. Otherwise, people might drive right past him like I did if it wasn't for Matt. See who's paying attention. Ah, there he is. Matt is on drive with us this afternoon. Enjoying not being behind the camera. He's just judging James's skill set here. Okay, I did see some tracks of the elephants crossing. So they've gone into this, but this is super thick. So I'm going to try and get onto the next road and then come back around closer to the deep slit and see if we can connect with them and get a glimpse of the little ones. Looks like a hyena latrine there. Everybody hold on. These little roads come out of nowhere at times. Okay, this should take us to where these elephants are. Although the elephants are doing their best to try and get us not to find them, pushing trees over the road. Stations, I've left the elephant bull unattended. He's just stationary feeding east of Seskant, just south of Rietspruit. And keen to resume following up on the herd west of this position. This would have been a really good spot for them. I'm just checking a game trail that's approaching this wallow. They haven't come here, judging by this little game trail, just some giraffe tracks. Some impala in the thickets here. This would be a really good spot for them. They might be making their way here. If they were near the crypt, there's a lot of these little seasonal pans that have got water in them at the moment, which the elephants will go to for some rhino tracks. To drink and to wallow in. So it's not necessary for them to go to all of them. I'm just looking for tracks on this road to see if they've crossed over here, because this is taking us right down towards the deep slits. But as you can tell by the bush on either side of me, this area is quite thick. And if they haven't quite got to this road yet and they're in this thick stuff, we may not see them because the bush is really thick here. But so far so good. I haven't seen any tracks crossing the road. Wow, this is just a old route down into the deep slit. Maybe we just sit here and listen for 2 minutes.
The bride is on the southern fence line. It's 2 miles, sorry. 2 miles.
Everybody's realizing that I dropped his name earlier. Yeah, I couldn't hear anything there. You may have heard that the 2 male lions have been heard, but they're all the way on the southern fence. Seen. Not heard. So we're not going to make our way there this evening. Keep trying to find the herd, which should be in here somewhere. It's a good thing we have a chimney to work our way through these tighter tracks. The thickets here. Sure, if these elephants are not on the road, it's going to be really tough for us to find them because it is super thick now after all the rain. The grass is getting taller, the bushes, I can't see a single one without leaves. So it's super thick in here, especially when you get closer to the banks of the river. I want to check that road. Some old signs of the Ellies having been here because of this branch that's been pulled off of this marula, but the leaves have all already started to die, so it isn't from this afternoon, it's from a few days ago. Some of these tracks just lead to dead ends. I hope I haven't found another one that goes just to a dead end. Looks like some aardvarks have been having some fun in here. Quite a few little areas where they've dug. It's really pretty in this section. It's still quite thick, but just has opened up a little bit. Some older rhino tracks. Right on the bank of the deep slit here. Section's so nice here. Nice and open. Come on, Ellies. I think there might be in this thick stuff. I'm going to stop and we're going to listen for a couple of minutes here. And just see if we can hear anything. I haven't seen any tracks. Maybe we'll hear more branches breaking. There's a red-chested cuckoo calling off there. It's a really beautiful time of day. Oh, I've just parked us over a pugnacious ant's nest. There are lots and lots of ants running around below us here. They're scurrying around before it gets dark, and then they end up going back into their holes. Pugnacious ants make walking around in these open areas quite challenging, because as soon as you are walking, they all flock to you basically. You end up, without realizing it, being covered in ants. Sometimes summer is quite unpleasant at some of the popular sundowner spots, because they're quite open. Also happen to be popular with the pugnacious ants. So it can be difficult. Goodness. Okay, Ellies, I think the herd is in this thick stuff. We've just done a big loop around. This road will take us back to Seskun Krip, and we've just done a big loop and gone along the banks of the deep slit. There's a nice herd of impalas here and some guinea fowls. Beautiful birds. I'm just going to reverse so James can try and get the guinea fowls, maybe with the impalas behind them. Such a beautiful bird. And then if I go forward, we should be able to get a couple of these impalas that are just in the bit of an open section there. There's a better grouping through there. It still appears that this herd of impalas near Seskun Krip are yet to drop their lambs. I'm seeing lots of females and no babies yet. lots of very pregnant females. This is where we saw that female the other day lying down. It looked like she was very close to giving birth. But what I've seen from this herd of impalas, I can't see any little ones. There's some baboons calling now in the deep slit, preparing themselves for roosting as the sun drops behind the Drakensberg. That lighting is so pretty on those bushes around this herd of impalas. It's the last little bit of light that we're going to get this evening, just before the sun drops behind the Drakensberg. Last little couple of questions. Mary, we will be on those cameras as best we can. It is challenging at this time of the year. And I see that there is water that is getting into one of the cameras. I'm just going to move forward here so Matt can get past us. Hello everybody, sorry for that interruption. I was just chatting to one of the homeowners out here, Matt Poole, Gareth's brother. But that is a wrap from all of us at Painted Dog TV for the year. I'm sorry that we couldn't find this herd of elephants, but they're in here somewhere. It's been a special year. It's been a real privilege to bring you some of these live safaris from the Rietspruit Game Reserve. And to all of you that put a bid in for the photographs for the Conservation Coalition, thank you for your support. Thank you to all of our Patreon members through the year supporting Painted Dog TV. And we hope to bring you more of this in 2026. Enjoy your festive seasons. And from all of us at Painted Dog TV, we will see you next year. Until then, goodbye.